At long last, I'm back to working on the Voyager model again. If you remember last time, I'd printed off the nacelles, but I wasn't happy with the result. I had just the original profile that came with the Kobra 3 Max, because there was only one available at the time. I've had a lot more since then. And I printed it at an angle, it was that way down, to try and reduce supports, and I ended up with a really rough finish. And of course this is the bit that's going to be sticking outwards, and that's the bit that you actually want to look good, and as you can see it's really rough. Now if I'd been painting and sanding this instead of just trying to do it as a colour print, I probably would have just filled it in and sprayed it over and there would be no trouble. But as I'm trying to get a really nice result, I'm redoing the nacelles, only this time I'm doing them in this orientation, so vertically, so that all the rough bits will be up here, which will be easy to sand off, and that will have a cap on the end as well, from part of the engine. But so this was going to be almost a day and a half print. I've got a set going last night. It's got 5 hours left. I'm going to have to do a filament change shortly because I'm running out of silver. Got a new one ready to roll. So yeah, generating of course a lot of waste as usual. I don't think I'll do the Starships this way again. It just takes too long, but it's been an interesting exercise. But yeah, everything's going good so far. See how it continues. So I'll check back in about 5 hours. So the printer's been running all day, nearly coming up to bedtime, and it's just about finished on the nacelles. What we got left? 8 minutes 45 seconds. So it's just closing in the tops there. I'd say they're looking quite nice. Yeah, give it a couple more minutes and then I'll start breaking the supports off and see how that looks. I did have to do a silver filament change around about this mark. I think it was the spools were looking different, but I think the old one was a king rune silver, and I found another one, but it was king rune silver again, but with a plastic spool instead of a cardboard. So, but color wise, when I put them next to each other, they looked just about identical, so I think I got away with that. Yeah, let's give it 8 minutes and we'll see what it does. Right, so print's finished, and yeah, top of it came out pretty smooth. So I'm just going to get all these supports off and clean it up, and we'll take a look how these nacelles come out. Yep, alright, I'll get back with you in a sec. Right, so taking the supports off one of the nacelles here. So as you can see, nice and clean. That's the piece that's going to face outwards. Remember, that was the old one and it looked horrible. New one, much better. So yep, feeling a lot better with that one. A slight mark there, that's where I had that change of filament. It wasn't quite the same shade. I'll do a quick bit of sand in there as well, but yeah, a million times better. Okay, so working on that rear section, I had a pause in the print. I don't know if you can see this, but I don't know if it's because it sat too long or what, but anyway, I had a break of the filament in the print head with the silver. It was jammed in there, and I restarted it a couple of times before I realized it was broken in there. Once I cleared it, it started, but that first layer going down just didn't cling to the previous ones, so I'm guessing perhaps they cooled down, and that was the result of, I don't know, perhaps the infill. Anyway, I hit stop. It's only a couple of layers in, and I'm going to restart it. See what happens. Alright, so still having a go on this rear section of the Voyager. That's looking quite nice with that green. So let's see, 340 layers to print. We're 179 in. I reckon 71.13% complete. Yeah, making good progress. Like I say, load of color changes, unfortunately, so lots of waste in there. But yeah, looking very nice. Come back to it later. So, video of the Voyager's rear section, which is all cooled down and finished. So it's just popped off. Just got to take the brim off it. So, which is removing itself as I talk to you. So yeah, that's going to look good. So, got one more piece to go and run off there. Oop. Get rid of that. There you go. Right, let's move on to another piece of Voyager. But just to show you this, yeah, it did come out looking really nice. Excellent. Well, we're getting close to the end on the Voyager, so this is the last large part coming off now. What's it saying? 35 hours. Oh, a lot of color changes, a lot of printing. So I'm heading off to bed. We'll leave it to it. We'll take a look at it in the morning. Okay, back to the Voyager last large piece, that rear upper section on the hull. So that's what's supposed to be coming out. I let it run overnight because it is going to take a while because of the color changes. And unfortunately, the yellow filament had snapped right at the Ace Pro. So this morning it had come to a halt and waited for me to clear it before it could continue. So that set me back a little. So anyway, it's 52.4% complete. Another 19 hours to go. Like I said, the filament color swapping does take more time than the actual printing when you got several colors there. But yeah, coming out looking really nice. So can't wait to get this last bit done, and then I can start assembling the pieces and then hopefully get it hanging from the ceiling.